Just 2 races remain as we continue to battle our way through towards the tail end of what has so far been an extremely exciting championship, and it is not going to be long before we'll find ourselves taking part in the chase for the cup for the Speed Cup Series. Good afternoon, one and all, and welcome to Kansas. My name is Ola Brampo, bringing you all the racing action from start to finish from round number 11 of an ever-intensified championship. We've already talked about it. Just a handful of races remain before we'll get the playoff season underway. It's just tonight, and then Circuit Gilles Villeneuve with the Talladega Super Speedway playing host to round number 1 of the chase, where the top 10 points are going to be reset. So right now, all eyes are on the future as we get set to see what these next 2 races are going to have in store for us. Kansas Speedway has always been marred as one of the most treacherous mile-and-a-halfs out there, just because of the high speeds that you can hit around this facility. Tonight, looking to be absolutely no different. We take a rundown of your point standings coming on over into tonight. After Bristol, Ethan Amberg is officially into the chase along with Robert Anderson and Ryan Shelton. They are separated by only 4 points apiece. It is absolutely insane amongst them. Meanwhile, you'll look back to drivers of Minazzi Major, Jason Taylor, not yet safe into the playoff run. Currently, Sedarius Days and Stan Hausman only have 1 point separating them. Martin Plute, only 5 to the good. Joey Barrett, only 8 to the good, and just got his way into the playoff run with a good performance last week. Stan Hausen, the first driver out. Mark McFadden also still with a chance with the job over Motorsports number 22 to fight his way into playoff contention later on throughout the course of the season. So you still got a lot of drivers that are going to be looking to see who can make up those last moves in what will be a wild 2 remaining races in the regular series season. Quite a few new names as well making their way out onto the racetrack. Among those is Colton Easterday, making his appearance once again for the number 60 Chevy Camaro. Well, scored as a 60, 95 on the side of the car. He is alongside Richard Regan Jr., who is just coming across the line to finish his second lap of qualifying. And I'll put actually Richard Regan Jr., the Mission 22 Camry, up to the front row. Other drivers that are looking to be bit of a newcomer to the racetrack. You got current 21st place runner Zach Williams for TTOM, who's going to be making himself in with a solid outing this afternoon as well. And how about this? Brandon Fetterplace making his resurgence to the Speed Cup Series. He had a very strong opening, but was not able to really capitalize on that. He has since made his return after having to take a few weeks off due to commitments that he's had elsewhere. Brandon Fetterplace currently sits on the outside looking in. Mathematically, still has a chance, but it's going to be a long shot. He's going to need a lot of things to go his way if he wants to battle his way into a chase spot later on throughout the course of the season. 45 seconds remain in qualifying, just waiting for the last few cars to get themselves sorted on the timing sheets. Jason Taylor coming to the end of his second lap. And for the Black Flag Motorsports, number 41, it'll only be good enough for the number 23 spot. So 30 seconds remain. I'm going to take a quick chance here to thank some of the guys that helped keep the lights on for the Speed Cup Series. Tonight's race and every race throughout the course of the season has been brought to you by Brookstone Animal Hospital. Brookstone Animal Hospital is a double AHA accredited full-service veterinary, medical, boarding, and grooming facility serving Metro Atlanta with a mission to provide modern and up-to-date medicine while also tailoring care to the health and well-being of all animals. Visit BrookstoneVet.com to schedule your appointment today. And by Beer Street Journal, one of the largest online collections of original content dedicated to covering beer culture, education, and the advancement of the beer industry. With thousands of articles, millions of unique visitors, and exposure in over 200 countries, Beer Street Journal is paving the way to enabling category growth, engaging a broader consumer base, and promoting better tasting beer for years to come. Qualifying is complete. Let's take a rundown of what your starting grid is going to look like as we'll duke it out for about 100 laps around the Kansas Speedway. Starting on pole position today, it's Bobby Anderson for Dirty South Racing. He'll start on the front row alongside front runner and series rookie Richard Regan Jr. Moving down to the field, Sean Boundy for Rebel Racing brings it up on row number 2 alongside Ryan Shelton for Vincent Motorsports. Ethan Amberg for Highline Motorsports starts in 5th alongside Josiah Vincent. Christopher Daugherty is in 7th with the Nazi Major in 8th out of Florida. Martin Plute for MGR will start in 9th with Jason Shue rounding out the top 10. Highline driver Matt Allen starts his race in the number 11 spot alongside ASRL turned Speed Cup Series driver Matt Schlosser. Jason Garcia's out of the Atlantic States will start it up in 13th. Brandon Feder plays for the Bowie Esports crew, finally making his return. He'll be starting down in 14th to round out the top half of the field. Joey Baird will start in the number 15 spot for Vincent Motorsports. Nate Cotilla for High Line will start in 16th. Tim Branson, the California native, starts in 17th alongside Cool Runnings Racing's Carlton Charles in 18th. Rounding out the top 20, it's Sedarius Days for Highline Motorsports alongside rookie Colton Easterday out of Indiana. We'll be starting in the number 20 spot this afternoon. Easterday running under the Gold Octopus Motorsports colors for this season. The Ford Wide Racing driver of Ryan Newman starts in 21st alongside Gold Octopus Motorsports driver Garrett Austin. Jason Taylor for Black Flag Motorsports will start 23rd alongside GGOM driver Zach Williams at 24th. Stan Hausman starts at 25th for MGR, Jumbo Motorsports. Mark McFadden starts at 26th. Tom Amasi will be up in the 27th position. And rounding out the field tonight, it's going to be Devin Pirog to close out the tail end of the field. So all 28 cars have gridded on up. All 28 cars put down qualifying laps, and all 28 cars will be looking to get themselves sorted for the green flag this afternoon. At this point, it's a who knows type of situation as to what's going to happen in this race. Kansas has long been one of those more wild race tracks where it could go either way, whether you get long green flag runs or a multitude of cautions. Really curious to see what the series rookies will have in store for us tonight, especially for the rookie in the 156 machine of Richard Regan Jr. Usually running under the Legacy Esports colors this afternoon. Hopping over to run under the Gold Octopus Motorsports crew along with normal GGOM driver Zach Williams. The iRacing pace car pulls down and into pit road. We're happy that you're joining us on a Thursday night from the Kansas Speedway. It's time to go, go, go from the Prairie States. Off of turn number 4, Bobby Anderson leads lap number 1 to green. The rest of the field in hot pursuit, just a little ways behind as we fire back down to turn number 1, but it's not going to last for long. Caution flag out already. We got a crash up in turn 1. The 127 into the wall, Minazzi Major into the wall with big damage. Matt Allen, the main driver, that got turned around. Zach Williams, the rookie's got damage. Devin Pirog may have just gotten out of that. Looking like Kamasi may have some damage as well. So multiple cars going around in turn number 1 on just the second lap of the night. Not the race start that these drivers were hoping to have. Let's take a look at what happened to Matt Allen, Zach Williams, and more. Oh, Allen got loose, middle of the trial, was snapped up hard into the wall, up and over for the 127. Went for about a half roll there. Then backs it into the fence big time, and the 127 machine going to be sliding down. Minazzi Major and Zach Williams both getting collected with a bit of contact. It's a hard wreck early on. That's a weird one as well. I mean, Matt Allen just going up and over. I wonder if he got some help from Minazzi Major behind. That would be the only thing that would realistically make sense to me. Let's ride on board with Minazzi Major and see what he saw throughout all of this. Major's in the number 82 car, was running right behind him. This is entering turn 3. Oh yeah, a little bit of an arrow push right there, and that put the 127 car up on his side. And what a wild ride from Matt Allen right out of the gate. Several cars coming down and into pit road. I know not the start to the race that Matt Allen was hoping to have. Try to get a little check-in here with the 127 car. Matt, that's about one of the wildest rides we've seen all season, and I imagine might be day over for you early on here.
Unfortunately, yes, it is. I am 13 minutes of required repair, and the wheels are not turning the right way, so we are done for the night, unfortunately.
Out of the race early on, what's going to be the plan for you, I guess, for the rest of the night? Going to act as a spotter for the rest of the team there for Highline?
Possibly. We might just go home and lick our wounds because, unfortunately, I don't know why the 82 had to push me that hard coming out of the tri-oval, but he got into the right rear a little bit, and that's actually what caused the wreck. I thought it was my own stupidity of trying to be a little too aggressive at the start, but I just kind of came back and watched the replay, and he did give me in the right rear just a little bit, enough to upset the car, and away we went.
Of course, you've only been running the part-time schedule so far this year, entering a little bit late to the game, so championship not on the line for you this time around, but season 4, you looking to come back?
Oh, absolutely. I love this league. I enjoy racing with Chris and all the guys. Seem to be pretty competitive as well. We had a good race last Tuesday night with the Xfinity League, so hoping that we can turn our luck around with the next gen and get ready for season 4.
Well, wish you the best of luck then next week at the Circuit Show Villeneuve. For now, it's a tough break tonight. We'll see you hopefully in 7 days.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Matt Allen for Highline Motorsports finding himself out of the fight early on as he found himself on the driver's side window net and almost onto his roof on the front stretch at the end of lap number 2. We'll look to get this race back underway. Bobby Anderson and Sean Boundy will line it up on the front row. Anderson up to the outside. The iRacing pace car pulls down into pit road. Early launch from Anderson has hit the restart zone. The field stacking up behind. Green flags back in the air. We're underway once again at Kansas. A lot of double file racing. Anderson and Amber poking clear. Sean Bounty trying to make a look for the number 2 spot. He's going to go down the inside with a bit of a help there from Richard Regan Jr. Sean Bounty pulls clear for the second spot, looking for a bit of 3 wide behind as they come off of turn number 4. Amber catches the wall, is given a shot to the shorts by Josiah Vincent. As they cross the line, Anderson already clear by 0.4 of a second. He's going to slap the wall, though, on the approach to turn 2. The rest of the pack slicing and dicing as they work their way to the back straightaway. 3 abreast down the back chute. Ryan Shelton caught in the middle, Pluto on top. Amberg down low and still looking for 3 wide as they come around through turn numbers 3 and 4. Amberg slowing big time on the racetrack. Problems set in for the Highline Motorsports number 14 as he is slow on the bottom. Not sure what happened there to Ethan Amberg. He is dropping like a stone right now. He's going to tumble all the way down to the 19th spot where he'll stop the bleeding. Try to get a look on what happened here to Ethan Amberg as he started dropping a ton of positions. It almost looked like he just kind of pulled it to the inside, but that car looks like it's got a problem. I'll jump a little bit further ahead than this, try to get a better angle on what the heck happened here. Amberg now into pit road. You know what? I think he may have had a penalty that he had to serve, and that is why we see him down in the pit road now, looking to serve that penalty, possibly a drive-through. My bet would be a restart violation on this, and that's exactly what it is, a drive-through penalty. So Highline Motorsports not off to a good start this afternoon. Take a look at this. I mean, that looked like a clean getaway. Maybe iRacing didn't like him getting a little bit of a jump off the hitch. Surely then that would mean though that Bobby Anderson might have one too, but evidently not. Sean Bounty in the midst of all of that took the race lead away. And he now pulls away down to the turn number 1. Nothing. Looking to slow up Bounty in his charge for the lead. This is Sean Bounty getting around Bobby Anderson on lap 7. Made the look to the inside. Said thank you very much. Took it away into turn number 3. Anderson now struggling to keep drivers like Richard Regan Jr. behind him. But the Kellogg's Frosted Flakes number 5 Camry going to be in it to win it this afternoon for sure. Still looking for 3 wide. Amberg coming down again. More problems, and this time he can't make it. He's into the grass, and he's going to pull it off the racetrack. So Amberg calling it quits. 2 penalties back to back. That would be a race killer for anyone, and he's going to be down and out. So now, our third retiree of the day, Matt Allen and the Minazzi Major, both retiring after yellow flag number 1, and Amberg retiring less than 10 laps later. Still double file, meanwhile, in the mid-pack here as they work their way down the front stretch. Ryan Shelton, Jason Garcias. Side by side on the racetrack, you got Christopher Darling fighting it out with Matt Schlosser just behind, and then behind all of them, Brandon Fetterplace making his return to the championship. Checking into the broadcast once again as he runs for the last spot inside the top 10. Some battles going on further down the field as well as everybody looking to scramble for whatever positions they can muster in the early stages. Sean Bounty initially broke away. Now he's being reeled back in just like Bobby Anderson was several laps ago. You can see why this track is known as one of the most treacherous in all of NASCAR, with the high speeds that you can rip, especially around the outside. How about the 12 of Zedarius Days trying to attack? The 95 scored as the 60 of Colton Easterday. Days battling it out with him. This right now for the 11th spot. Easterday holding on from the inside line. Is that enough to try to secure the spot, though, from Zedarius Days up the road? Working the turn number was 1 and 2. You can see Bobby Anderson tried to attack Sean Bounty for the race lead down in the turn number 1. Last time by, couldn't make the lunge. But he is right there and charging to try and make the move happen. Bobby Anderson out of Mansfield was leading the race once earlier today. Wants to get right back up to where he started. He's taking the inside while Sean Bounty works the high side. Behind them, Garcia, Shelton, Schlosser, all bunched up under a blanket as they work their way through turn numbers 3 and 4. And several side-by-side positions back in the field still yet to be decided as well. Shelton, Garcia's leading on the door. These two drivers are battling against one another for the championship last season. I'm sure not too much love lost between them right now. For now, Jason Garcias hangs on, but Ryan Shelton trying to open up a run on the outside line. It's not going to happen, and now he's going to come under fire from Brandon Fetterplace behind him. Matt Schlosser is also still in the mix. Even further behind them, Ryan Newman, Tom Amasi, Mark McFadden, all making moves. So the 34, the 99, the 400, all under a blanket. Christopher Darling trying to make a lunge as well. In it to win it so far. And this is looking like it's going to be a great race from start to finish. If these first 20 laps are anything to go by. One yellow flag in the early run, but outside of that, we've been running green flag ever since. Oh, there's no room there, Ryan. Trying to get up in front of Matt Schlosser. Schlosser slams the door shut. Ryan Shelton couldn't get the door closed off as Schlosser just barely kept his toe in there. Just able to force Shelton to be offline for turn 3. He's going to back out, though, from there. Further behind them, Devin Pirog battled it out with Joey Barrett. This is for 16th further down the racetrack. Carlton Charles is in the mix of this as well. 1 Chevy, 2 Toyotas. fighting for some of the last spots inside the top 20. But further behind, Ryan Newman and Stan Hausman also going at it, with drivers like Amasi in the fray. Battles all throughout the field, no matter where you look. Ethan Amberg looking to the inside of, sorry, that's Jason Taylor looking to the inside of Sedarius Days. And they'll nearly come together off of turn number 2, but so far, still clean. Up the road, Bobby Anderson has caught Sean Bounty, trying to see if he can't pull up to the back end to have a look. No lunge yet being made by Anderson, but you can tell that number 5 car, he is really on the hunt. Looking down to the inside of every corner he's got to try to open up the inside, but Bounty's able to pull the outside so aggressively that Anderson just doesn't have anything for him. Other battles still developing deeper in the field. How about Garrett Austin? A rookie to the series, clawing his way through the pack. He battles his way into turn number 1 against Sedarius Days. Tim Branson thinking like he might want to open up and run to the inside, but he doesn't go for it. Gonna go for it there as Days slips up in turn 4. Garrett Austin back to the inside, tracks up across the racetrack. Can Austin take this spot away through turns 1 and 2 for the number 13 spot? Not quite this time. Still 2 abreast as they work the backstretch. Days pulling clear for the outside. Austin holding firm on the bottom. For the lead, Anderson's got the inside. Sean Bounty going up to the top. Still trying to keep the 5 at bay. But Bobby Anderson has been getting closer and closer the last several laps. No look made that time into turn number 3. Bobby Anderson starting to migrate to the top to try to get a run going on Bounty. Devin Pirog has retired to the garage. He is done for the night. And boy, you can just tell the aggression picking up in some of these other battles all throughout the midfield right now. Especially this one for Garrett Austin and Tim Branson and more. These drivers have been burning their rubber off, trying to fight it out with one another. You can tell it's starting to have a serious impact on how these cars are driving. Up the field, Jason Gracias having a go at it. Sedarius Days into the infield grass. The number 12 KFC Chevy Camaro hops across the infield. He'll get that car back sorted, but a problem for Days. Take a look. Oh, Austin found the wall, checked the 12 up, and Carl Charles ran him over. A great save, though, from the number 12 as he skated through the infield. Ryan Shelton battled it out with Brandon Fetterplace. Fetterplace not showing too much of the form that we saw from him throughout the first portion of the season, where he took a race win and so many podiums. This track just might not be Brandon's right now, when you can tell he is struggling to try to find a way back through this field to get some good points this afternoon. Shelton pulling around the outside of Brandon Fetterplace. The Season 2 runner-up now looking for the inside of the defending champion Jason Gracias. Christopher Darling now trying to throw his hat into the ring, looking for a run around the outside. Yet all of these drivers, all of these folks that have been championship contenders at one point or another, run over 3 seconds behind the race leader, Sean Boundy, with Bobby Anderson and Richard Regan Jr. getting back into the mix. So the Highline Mission 22 Camry making a look for the number 2 spot down the inside of Bobby Anderson into turn 1. Or sorry, the Golden Octopus Motorsports driver making a look down the inside of Anderson. Sweeps up across the nose. Regan up to the number 2 spot. Mark McFadden is into pit road for the first time this afternoon. He'll come in for his first stop at lap 30. Gracias, Darling, Fetterplace, Shelton, Schlosser, and Taylor all under a blanket as they have worked their way back into turn numbers 1 and 2. Jason Garcia's up to the top shelf. Christopher Darling trying to have a look down the middle. Cannot find the opening. Ryan Shelton will lose out to Brandon Fetterplace, and here goes Regan. Regan Jr. battling with Sean Boundy now for the race lead on 4. Lap 32. And Richard Regan Jr. in his series debut trying to go to the point. Still tracking to the inside of turn numbers 1 and 2. But Sean Boundy just able to rip the lip from the top shelf and pulls back clear. What an effort, though, that Regan made that last time by. And I think he's really showing he's got the potential here to go for the lead. There you see Mark McFadden, who's already down. He's already down 1 lap, trying to avoid going down 2. Those tires still getting up to 10, but now he's in the way of Boundy and the race leaders. They finally got those tires up to 10. Now he's going to start to pull away from him. All the while, Gracias, Fetterplace, Shelton still in the line. And even further behind them, you still got some other battles on the racetrack as well. How about the 85 of Ryan Newman looking to the inside of Carlton Charles to make a lunge? Oh, Charles so close to the outside wall. I think behind him, honestly, did catch the wall, causing a bit of a near miss. McFadden opening up the door once again on the inside of Boundy. A drag race down the American Ethanol backstretch. Regan takes that one down the low side of 3 and 4. Richard Regan Jr. picks up the number 1 spot. Sean Boundy will drop to 2nd, and he'll lead his first laps of his Speed Cup Series career for Regan. Further behind, Fetterplace and Shelton looking to go nose to tail. Trying to get some kind of momentum run going further down the field. A lot of these midfield packs started to break apart into their own little battle clusters. There you see Joey Barrett getting around Colton Easterday, or trying for it at least. It's a tough, tough ask, though, in turn 3. And, oh, he's going to make it happen. Easterday slips up out of 4. Letting Barrett through to 13th. Ryan Newman and Carlton Charles just behind them are also now side by side. The 27 working the top. The 85 working the bottom, and it's not going to go the way of Newman as Stan Hauser will get around it for the Brookstone Animal Hospital Mustang. Zach Williams in pit road for his first stop of the day, making his way out right now. Sedarius Days going up on the jacks to get left sides on all 4s on the race car, so he's going to be off and away. So drivers starting to make these pit calls relatively early here, instead of waiting for a round closer to the halfway point like we usually see. So some drivers opting for a more undercut strategy this afternoon. How about Jason Shue going around the outside of Newman? That's because Newman is pitting. Ryan Newman coming down to pit road. So the number 85 car will be in. He'll be the next car to make the trip down to the lane, and he gave up a lot of time on pit entry there to make that happen. Better Place and Gracias are right now going side by side. There you see Sedarius Days looking like he might be coming down the pit road. Regan leading the way off the corner. Not seeing a lot of drivers thinking about coming down on lap 40. But the strategy game at Kansas Speedway has just come alive. Carlton Charles, Stan Hausman side by side. Jason Shu also in the mix. All of them trying to make moves happen while we wait for the front runners to see when they're going to come down to pit road. Look at Regan right up by the wall. And now Fetter Place and Shelton getting a bit closer nose to tail, and still no moves being made for the rest of the pack to come down to pit road. But that pit window very much open for the two-stop strategy this afternoon, I would reckon. Looking like a few more drivers. They're trying to see if they can go for the one stop near the halfway point. Regan again running that Larson line, just ripping it right up by the safer barrier on the outside of the racetrack, keeping Sean Bounty and Bobby Anderson behind him. Oh, Gracias bobbles off of turn 4. Here comes Brandon Fetterplace. Fetterplace to the inside. He'll pick off 7th. Sedarius Days making his way out of pit road, and I think Days got bopped for speeding on entry. 45 seconds in the box. That's a really long time to be in pit road on the entry. I gotta slow down enough. I don't know, maybe damage repairs? I don't know what to tell you on that case though, but Bobby Anderson now fighting Sean Bounty for the number 2 spot. Anderson takes the spot away from Sean Bounty, slides up across the nose. Josiah Vincent and Martin Blue, the 4 and the 81. Seeing who will be ready to do battle. Single file all throughout this field. I think everybody at this point, we've gotten the battle packs kind of established, and now we're just looking to wait for this pit strategy to pan out. While we're waiting for that pit strategy to plot itself out, gonna once again thank some of the sponsors to help keep the lights on for the Speed Cup Series. Tonight's race brought to you by Twisted Steel Steak Appeal. Twisted Steel Steak Appeal by Marty Plute has a solid punch of sweet and heat flavor that lingers to let you know it's there. Marty Plute is an award-winning steak cook-off association chef and has finally revealed his secret recipe rub that'll blow you away with flavor. Steak, veggies, fish, pork, and poultry. Twisted Steel Steak Appeal is a rub above the rest. And Simrap Market. Simrap Market offers a variety of products, including number kits, overlays, Vector Smart templates, base designs, patterns, and track camera packages. Your one-stop shop for your iRacing graphic needs, along with Tires Plus Total Car Care. From simple oil changes to brakes and alignments, Tires Plus has service that keeps you in the driver's seat. Other sponsors include Brookston Animal Hospital, Simrap Guide, and Beer Street Journal. 5 laps away from the halfway point, Bobby Anderson trying to attack Richard Regan Jr. for the race lead. Regan's held on to that lead for some time now. Took that lead a good 10 laps ago, and he's held on to it ever since. Bobby Anderson says, Mom said it's my turn to lead the race at Kansas. The Kellogg's Frosted Flakes Toyota trying to make a run on the Mission 22 Camry just up in front of him. It's a tall order, though, to get a move like that going. You ride on board with Anderson. Started the downshift on the entry to these corners to get that little bit of oomph with the acceleration game off these corners. Look at how much Regan flirts with the outside wall, and that actually has allowed for Anderson to reel this gap in by a metric ton, but not enough to make a dive into turn number 1. Regan's playing with fire running that close to the wall. Nonetheless, he's got some great cards underneath him. It's only a matter of time before he finds the fence, and when he does, Anderson will be right through and into a new zip code. These two are battling all by their lonesome as Sean Bounty has dropped off from this leading pack. Here comes Regan into pit road. 3 laps shy of the halfway point. Bounty coming into pit road as well. So pit stops underway for the race leaders. The top 2 coming down. So the Rebel Racing crew in along with one of the Gold Octopus Motorsports drivers. Four tires and fuel looking to be the order of the day. I would be shocked if you got anything other than that. Halfway point only about 2 laps away. Up on the jacks for both. Regan's away and Bounty's away. Now, where are the top 2 runners? We got Colton Easterday coming down to pit road. So the number 95 entry is into the pits. Green flag pit stops are underway in force. Easterday up on the jacks. And he'll now be off and away as well. There's Bobby Anderson, still working the outside of the racetrack. He's now into the second half of this race. 50 down, 50 to go, and he's not showing any signs of slowing yet. He's looking to run that tank dry. Garrett Austin comes into pit road. Martin Plute comes into pit road. And here comes Federplatz. Oh no! Darling's missed the mark. He overshoots. He'll have to back up. He'll get it sorted to get back into pit road. No caution, but that's a big mistake from the number 11. Riding on board with Darling here. This is a devastating mistake for Christopher Darling. That's effectively just cost him a chance at a win. Straddled the apron for too long. Got it locked down. He did not back it into the racetrack, so we'll keep it green. Josiah Vincent coming in now. I think a lot of folks started to realize there's really not too much advantage to staying out long term at this point. Now that you're at the halfway point and you're good to go to the end, some drivers might want to try to go the distance anyway to try to get some extra fuel in the tank in case we get overtime later in the game. So Vincent is in. Gracias is in. Bobby Anderson, the race leader, is in just behind them. So Anderson comes in. Jason Taylor behind them is into pit road. Now just waiting on Shelton and Schlosser to come down for the first time, and then this first pit stop window will be complete. And what should be the only pit stop window. Unless some of these other folks that came in around lap 30 are looking at a 2-stopper. Neither driver coming in yet. Schlosser will be pitting in. So Ryan Sheldon, a driver notorious for going long, will be the last runner on the racetrack. Expecting him to be down any time, and right on cue, Ryan Shelton hitting pit road. So Shelton is in. Jason Shue, technically with a race lead. Sorry, no, Shue and Tausman both pitted on lap 3 under the first caution. They did not pit since then, so they still have yet to come down to pit road. So Richard Regan Jr. right now with a net race lead. Sean Bounty second, Bobby Anderson third, Plute fourth. Federplatz will be fifth, and Vincent, Taylor, Gracias, Branson, and Darling potentially for the top 10. That is if this field ends up the way it was. Jason Shue coming to pit road. Stenhouse will take a lap lead point on the day. with that point secure, surely he's going to be the next one into pit road. He is going to go down a lap as well when it comes down to the pits, and I think he knows that, so he really wanted to get that point to make staying out worth it. Ryan Shelton leaves pit road. He drops down to 13th overall. And that right now is going to be net 11th. Not a good stop for Ryan Shelton. 17 seconds in the box. And somehow on pit road, according to SDK, about 10 seconds less than everyone else. I don't know if I believe that. Sean Bounty, same tire life as Richard Regan Jr., but Bounty so much better on the fresh rubber. Looking for the inside of Regan for the race lead. Regan here is trying to save some tires to attack him later on in the run. While Sean Bounty looking to get around him now. Bounty looking to go round the long way into 3 and 4. He's got him right to the back bumper. Is it enough to get a run going? Regan goes up to block. Regan covers the move off for the race lead. Bounty looking to attack down low. Side by side. Dead heat off of turn number 4. Or turn 2, sorry, down the American Ethanol backstretch. Now into 3 and 4. Bounty still looking for the inside. Regan up on top. Side by side. Bounty down onto the apron in the tri-oval. He'll push up and I think he's going to get him here in turn 1. Yes, he sure will. Sean Bounty takes the race lead. Pushes up, slides across the nose of Regan, doesn't let him get the over-under going. Using lap traffic with Sedarius Days as a little bit of a pick there as Bounty will start to try to open up that race lead. Just behind them, Ryan Shelton and Tim Branson are in a side-by-side battle as well. Christopher Darling up the road in a battle of his own. So as these battles are getting themselves sorted, we're going to take ourselves with a quick step back. When we return, it'll be more racing action. So far, only one yellow flag on lap number 2 at Kansas.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Green Flag TV. Green flag conditions still underway on the approach to 30 laps remaining in this one. With the rest of the field having done their pit stops, some drivers have come down for second stops. Those drivers include Jason Shue, Tom Amasi, Mark McFadden, Zach Williams, and Cedarius Days. Everybody else is still out and on the racetrack, running on that one-stop strat from around the halfway point. We've been tracking this battle for the number 9 spot, coming around through turn numbers 3 and 4 now as they work their way to the front straightaway. This battle consisting right now of Ryan Shelton, Christopher Darling, Tim Branson, Matt Schlosser, and Joey Barrett. As I say that, we got another fight for the lead starting to pick up. Oh, the 69 up and into the wall. Sean Bound gonna have to split lap traffic down the middle. The 69 into the wall again. That opens up the door for Richard Regan Jr. to make a look for the lead down the inside. Regan takes the point. Oh, and into the wall again for the 69 entry of Zach Williams. The rookie not having an ideal day, and that one checked up the leaders. And Richard Regan Jr. took full advantage over that and stole away the lead. I mean, watch this. I mean, nowhere for Bounty to go. He has to slow up to avoid the 69 as they try to split the traffic 3 wide down the middle. Bobby Anderson now hunting up the inside of Sean Bounty. So it's Regan, it's Bounty, it's Anderson in a 3-way scrap for the lead. Regan pulling away as we hit the 30 laps to go mark. Anderson hugging the inside. Bounty still working the outside lane. It's been a good line for defensive driving all night long. And that's not looking to change anytime soon as Anderson sweeps across the nose. Further behind them, Matt Schlosser, Christopher Darling in a 2-way fight. Schlosser sweeps across the nose and he'll pick off the spot from Darling. That was the move to get Schlosser into the top 10. Remember, not too much left in this championship for the regular series season for drivers to get themselves sorted. The drivers that were really at risk entering today, Martin Plut and Cedarius Days, both of them not having ideal runs this afternoon. Well, Plut's having a good run. He's up at 4. Cedarius Days not so much. He's all the way down the field and is right now outside of the top 20. Stan Hausman, though, here could very much go on the offensive, and he's looking to get around Cedarius Days and bump him for the last bump spot within the top 10. Mark McFadden, another one of those drivers that has not had an ideal run today, as he is looking to be down and out of this one as well. Christopher Darling, a driver that in theory could still make it in, but he's got to do more than he's doing right now. Oh, look out! Holy cow! The top 2 splitting Nate Cotilla as Cotilla gets up and into the wall. A close shave, and they're still side by side for the lead through lap traffic. Cotilla will go down the lap. Now they're catching up to Ryan Newman. Side by side for the lead still. Anderson's got nowhere to take this, but Regan's going to have lap traffic blocking him on the outside of a turn run number 4. Here comes Anderson to the inside. Nowhere for Regan to go. Pinching each other in. Anderson to the point. 25 laps in this one, and Bobby Anderson looking to drive around to take this one away. Here comes Regan, though, driving back around him. Back to the outside line for Regan. Richard Regan Jr. tracking up. They make a bit of contact in turn 2. Anderson skates down to mid-track. Regan back to the point. Real quick, take a look on what happened coming out of turn number 4. Watch Nate Cotilla up the road. You can see lap traffic coming. He gets a bit wide. Just about gets into the wall, and they have nowhere to go as they split him as they get side by side for the lead. Bobby Anderson now trying to fight back to the inside of Richard Regan Jr. He's got him once again for the race lead. The Kellogg's Frosted Flakes Camry not about to be denied. Looking for the long way to get around the Mission 22 Camry. Richard Regan Jr. still battling this one out to the high side. Anderson down low, Regan up top. Side by side grudge match for the lead. Regan pinching in Anderson as they come around to turn number 1. Up to the top shelf. The 56 of the 5, seeing who can go to work here. Anderson down low. Can he get clear of this number 22? For now he does. The Mission 22, 156 of Regan is having a time of it right now. Working for the outside, contact again, they nearly come together. It is getting physical now in the battle for the race lead. They've been side by side for about 3-4 laps now. Anderson still not giving in. He is going to force the issue here like there's no tomorrow as he tries to get this fight sorted. You're right on board with Anderson, and I think his mind has been forced to give it up to Richard Regan up the road. A tough break indeed. But he is not done fighting this one out yet. You can see him closing it in right back down for the gap. 20 to go. This battle ain't over yet, and Sean Bounty is still sticking to the wings. Regan's into the wall. We knew that was inevitable. He catches the fence, and Anderson shoots through to the point. I called about 30, 40 laps ago, when you run that close to the wall for that long, it is only a matter of time before things fall apart. And things just fell apart there for Richard Regan Jr. He caught the wall, not a lot. Any damage is negligible. It's just lost time. But that's going to be frustrating for him. He's got a lot of work to do now in the next 18 laps if he wants to catch back up to Bobby Anderson. Behind, Josiah Vincent and Brandon Fetterplace going out, are looking to slug it out for 5th. All of this and still only one caution on the night that happened at lap 2 after Manatsi Major got to the back of Matt Allen and turned him hard into the wall. That almost sent Allen up on his roof. Ever since, we've been clean and green. A few spins, a few slides here and there. Christopher Darnell locked the advantage of pit roads. Darius Days had to scramble into the infield grass, but otherwise, nothing from there. So Fetterplace and Vincent still looking to duke it out. Even further behind, Matt Lawson, Ryan Shelton, Tim Branson scrapping it out as well for 10th, 11th, and 12th. Garrett Austin and Colton Easterday going at it for 14th and 15th as well. $16 to go now. The lap counter is quickly coming down, and not a lot of time is left, and not a lot of drivers left to battle for the point now. With a lot of folks having dropped out of the lead fight, and they're battling for the scraps here at the tail of the field. I'm surprised we've been seeing Ryan Shelton not being able to offer more today. Heck, I can say the same for Jason Garcia. I mean, those are two drivers that have been on it all year long, and yet here, even Brandon Fetterplace not able to really mount much of an offensive. The big titans of this league have not had much to give to Kansas Speedway this afternoon. Nate Cotilla coming down one more time to pit road. Ryan Shelton and Tim Branson 11th and 12th looking to go at it. Branson looking for the high side on the 99 U.S. Air Force Camaro. While Garrett Austin and Colton Easterday are looking to go at it. 13 to go now. And we're still tracking a lot of these midfield fights that are nice and close. The runners for the top three have broken apart. There you see Bobby Anderson fighting his way through some lap traffic. Now over a second out is Richard Regan Jr. I think that damage might be hampered him more than we thought. And Sean Bound just not able to mount much of an offensive. Here comes Tim Branson. Just screamed by Ryan Shelton. Shelton trying to get the over-under on him. Didn't make it happen, though. Matt Schlosser is in the mix of this as well. So a three-way fight for the last spot inside the top 10. Schlosser formerly running with Interstellar SRV. That is, as far as I'm concerned, he and Hunter Engrove are no longer a part of that organization and are now teamless. So the Old Mother Brewing Co. number 400 Camaro running under independent colors this afternoon. Tim Branson running right behind him. Ryan Shelton is still in the mix as well for 12. Sounds like Shelton might be putting in the clutch and coasting here. Might just be me. You see Tim Branson making a look to try to get around the 400 car. 10 laps, this time by at the line. Tell you what, this has been a solid race today, and there's a lot of action coming up on Green Flag TV as well. For one, the SRO Next Gen Cup Series swings out to the last great Coliseum at Bristol Motor Speedway on Sunday, but that race will most likely be done tape delayed for Tuesday afternoon. And a doubleheader with the OMSRL Cup Series. Actually, scratch that. OMSRL is off this week. So we'll instead jump in with the High Tide Race of the MFRD Premier Series at the Chicagoland Speedway. The Beer League is off for their one-off week. So we'll be back with the Speed Cup Series then on Thursday night. Garrett Austin making some moves as he looks to get around Stan Hausman. You've also got Colton Easterday in the fray of this battle as well, and this is right around where your race leaders are. Anderson just lapped this pack. Austin takes someone over from Hausman to the inside of Easterday. Garrett Austin, though, for now, will simply hold the inside. 7 to go. There's your number 2 runner. That 56 car, the 156 car, not in the running for this battle. He is simply trying to get by these guys and put them down a lap. While Easterday and also look to battle it out amongst themselves within these final 6 laps. It's a tough order, though, when you got lead lap traffic trying to blitz their way through. This is the battle for 14th on back. Pretty good runs for Easterday and Austin, all things considered. Are they down a lap? Yes, but they're up 6 and 7 spots respectively for where they started this race. That's not nothing. And that's not all just coming from the wrecks. You only had 1 wreck on the night, so they can feel proud of themselves for this performance in their seasonal debut. Of course, Garrett Austin's been running here for, he's been no stranger to iRacing for a little while. Easterday, same story. So they're just having a good time of things over here, running this race at 5 to go. And the 2 teammates trying to battle it out amongst themselves as they rip through 1 and 2. Once again, 5 to go. Martin Plouffe, Brandon Fetterplace, Josiah Vincent, Jason Taylor. The furthest battle up the racetrack that is on the lead lap They're fighting right now for the 4th place spot with just 4 laps remaining. This is about 6.5 seconds behind the leader. A yellow flag now forces this race into overtime. So not expecting to see any kind of an overtime run here on this one. It's been a very clean race ever since that lap 2 caution. 13 cars remain on the lead lap out of the 28 that started this race. And in that 28-24, still remain on the racetrack. 3 to go this time by. Plutes into the fence. Vanderplay's opening up the door. He'll shoot to the inside. Go up to the 4th place spot. Good charge for Vanderplay's. He'll take that one away from Plute. Josiah Vincent now looking like he wants to enter the arena as well. Plute caught him back to the low side, trying to get around Vanderplay's. Vanderplay's almost catches the wall. Trouble potentially for Sedarius Days for a moment. Something happened to the number 12? Just a little bit of a blink out on that one. 2 laps to go, though. The battle for 4th going nowhere. White flag, meanwhile, is imminent for Bobby Anderson. He's coming off of turn number 4. Bobby Anderson takes the white flag at the Kansas Speedway. It'll only be 1 caution early on. The rest of the race will run green to checker. Plute slaps the wall big time. Taylor into the wall big. They'll start the final trip around. Josiah Vincent to the inside of Martin Plute, trying to get up into the top 5. Plute into the wall again in turn numbers 3 and 4. Vanderplay's pulling clear. Down the backstretch, Bobby Anderson, the driver out of Mansfield, coming off of turn number 4. It is win number 4 on the season for Bobby Anderson. Nothing's been able to put a stop to his race. He'll go to the 4th place spot. Here come the other battles as they come across the line. What a fight, though, for Bobby Anderson. Takes an extremely hard-fought win. And in an extremely impressive 4th win on the season, he'll get the chance to burn it down on the front straightaway. It's his 4th of the season. And checking in on some of the other race stats that we've had over the course of the last 2 seasons with the Speed Cup Series. The record on the championship is 6, set by Drew Eisenman from season number 1. Robert Anderson at a serious risk now. Well, that record, I should say, under serious risk, courtesy of Robert Anderson. Let's take a rundown of your race results this afternoon. It was a wild ride for the Kansas Speedway, but a thrilling one from start to finish. Taking a look down, top to bottom, through your field, it's going to be none other than Bobby Anderson taking his 4th win of the season, 2 away from matching the record set by Eisenman from season number 1. Richard Regan Jr. in his season debut goes to the number 2 spot. Sean Bounty picks up 3rd. Brandon Fender places in 4th. He'll move up 10 positions after qualifying back in 14th. Martin Plute finished his race in 5th. Josiah Vincent 6th. Jason Taylor in 7th. Garcias, Darley, and Sheldon round out the top 10. Then it was Schlosser, Branson, and Barrett for the top 13. Finishing this race on the lead lap. 1 lap down. Yeah, Cole Denise today. Garrett Austin, Carl DeCharles, Stenhausen, Tom Amasi, Jason Shu, Ryan Newman, Nate Cotilla, Mark McFadden, Darius Days, Zach Williams, Devin Pirog, Ethan Amberg, Venazzi Major, and Matt Allen close out the field. 28 cars started this race. 13 finished on the lead lap. 24 finished this one overall. Boy, that was a thriller that we had this afternoon. Let's take a rundown and give a chit chat here to all of the drivers that come home and take his finish this race on the podium. We'll look to kick things off first and foremost, of course, with Bobby Anderson, the driver that walks it off and takes now his 4th race win of the season. Bobby, it has been an extremely impressive season for you so far. 2 away from matching the record set by Drew Eisenman earlier on in season number 1. It's got to feel good knowing that you're pretty much locked in and you're still putting down these good performances.
Yeah, it does. I love Kansas. Really exciting to win. Great league that Chris puts on. Really appreciate everything that the admins do. And just a lot of fun, free experience for us to come out here and do this. So thanks to those guys.
It's win number 4 on the season. 1 race is still on the cards before we get to the main playoff run, and that is, of course, going to be coming on up at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve up in Canada just a week from today. Are you going to be looking to go for win number 5 on the road courses again?
Man, I think I got to be able to say the track name correctly before I can win at it. But in all seriousness, I need to go practice for sure. There's some pretty good road racers out here, so I don't know if I'm the favorite, probably not, but we'll give it our best.
And overall championship coming on up in just a couple of weeks here. How confident are you on being able to go for the title?
Yeah, I'm going to have some confidence, but it, of course, starts off with Talladega, so you can kind of get through that minefield. There's some nice 1.5 milers on the playoff schedule that I'm excited about, so just hope I don't put myself in too much of a hole in that first race.
Well, we'll wish you the best of luck when we go racing next week. Congratulations on taking your 4th win of the season, and we'll see you when we return to Canada.
Thanks, Nolan. Have a good one.
That was Bobby Anderson joining us up here in the broadcast booth, and with that, we'll move on down to a driver that only just started his Speed Cup Series career and is already making waves. Richard Regan Jr. comes home for the number 2 spot this afternoon, and Richard, it was a wild one for you this afternoon. You were always up there battling for the top 3 spots. Unfortunately, you just caught the wall in turn 4, and that cost you the top spot, but overall, talks to your race. It's the first one with the series.
Yeah, no, it was pretty great. I haven't driven the next gen in a year and a half, and my buddies at Golden Octopus convinced me to sign up tonight. So it was nice to see Bobby in here. Me and Bobby used to be teammates. We're still kind of teammates, but we were racing each other pretty hard, and with Sean too. It's really nice to have a lot of guys in here that can run hard, like wicked hard, and be clean at the same time. Like, I thought that was awesome. That was definitely the most fun I've ever had in the next gen, and I usually hate this car.
You mentioned this car not quite being your favorite, but with you having a good time this afternoon, can we expect to see you through the rest of season 2 and potentially beyond?
Sure. Whenever I have free time, I know I will definitely be missing next week, but the schedule looks pretty fun after that, so definitely expect me to be around more towards the end of the season.
So not going to be one to arrive at Canada, but the first race of the chase, it's going to be, of course, Talladega Super Speedway. You're not in it for a championship this season, but your former teammate Bobby Anderson certainly is. You mentioned you're still sort of teammates. Are you going to be looking to work with him come Alabama?
Oh, absolutely. Me and Bobby work good together. I've spotted and crew chief for him plenty of times at plate tracks, and we're usually on the same page. So hopefully when I'm behind the wheel, it's the same outcome with me and him, and hopefully I can get him a good finish to get on to the next round of the chase.
Sounds like a solid plan. We'll wish you the best of luck then when we see you in 2 weeks in Alabama. Congratulations on taking your 2nd finish in your season debut. We'll see you then in Talladega.
Thank you. Real quick, I'd like to give a shout out to Mission 22, Neonism Paints, JZ Photography, Stant Analyzer, Multiple Sclerosis Society, Regenbogen Motorsports, the Golden Octopus guys, everybody that puts on the Speed Series, and then you that does the broadcast. Appreciate it.
And we appreciate you as well. That was Richard Regan Jr., 2nd place in his season debut for the driver of Taunton, Massachusetts. We'll move on down. It is Sean Bounty picking up yet another podium. 3rd place for you tonight, Sean, and you were looking to have a big fight as well. We saw you constantly driving to the point and just being reeled in later in the game. What were some of the nuances that caused this back and forth slingshotting we saw?
Well, first of all, I had a blast. That was a lot of fun, and credit to Robert and Richard. That was just a lot of fun racing them tonight. As far as the race, I've never personally been really great at running the bottom and saving tires. I tend to shred tires more on the bottom than top. That's something I got to figure out. But I love this track so much, and just tried to run the top as consistently as I could. And when I had them in the mirror, all I did was every time I see them backing off, I just roll out of the gas and not run it really hard up at the top as best as I could and save. But when we got to the halfway, roughly for that one stop for the fuel, it was just driver error. I forgot that we had a pit stop earlier, and it threw off my calculations, and came down probably a lap too early, and spent the second half of the race just saving fuel. But I came out 2 seconds behind the car I was chasing and used most of that fuel up catching them, passed them back up, took the lead again, but that was at a cost of, and I knew it then, that was at a cost of just gonna wear my fuel and my tires out and just salvaging a top 3. So I thought the more fun thing to do would see if we can get the most laps led or something like that, but I knew where I stood, and top 3 was about average, so I'm just glad we finished here and had a great race.
There's only one race left for the regular series season, and it's at a racetrack that doesn't get a whole lot of love from the NASCAR community nowadays. It's the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, the F1 circuit up in Canada. What do you think we can expect from the last road course race of the season?
Man, a lot of chaos. I expect at some point to go around a corner and just see a roadblock maybe. I bought that track when it came out because of another series wanted to run some cup cars on there, and then they canceled it out of fear of just running that track. So this will be a new experience for me and one I've been looking forward to for a long time. So hopefully we can just keep it on the track and not have any major incidents, and that should be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a unique experience for sure, and we'll see if it'll be back on top when we swing up north of the border. Congratulations on taking third. Meanwhile, today, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thank you.
Sean Bounty joining us here for the third place finish after this one. And, well, with that is about going to be all we're going to have time for this afternoon. Boy, this race was a crazy one, and I would expect nothing less from the Speed Cup Series. There's still a lot more yet to come on in as well over the next little while. For one, the ASRL Next Gen Cup Series is going to be swinging on out to Bristol Motor Speedway on Sunday. That race will likely be tape delayed with a restream planned for Tuesday. And then, of course, with all of that, we're going to continue on with racing action for the High Tide Racing League. They're going to be swinging on now next to the Chicagoland Speedway, coming at you from Joliet, Illinois. And then from there, it'll be, of course, the Speed Cup Series. Back for more for the last race of the regular series season and the last road course race of the season. If you want to find out more about who we are, what we can offer you, check us out today at www.greenflagtv.com. My name has always been Nolan Ramble. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you, and we go racing next week in Canada.